Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So we have a huge day coming up this week, just 3 days away, which is going to give us an even better idea of how much of an increase all recipients of Social Security will receive. So retirement, SSI, SSDI, as well as veterans. We're going to be going over that date and what we can expect moving forward as far as the increase goes. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Also, if you would like to receive a few free stocks in a pinned comment below as well as in the description box, I will be leaving a few different links where you can receive those free stocks. And if you don't want to invest at this point in time, you can always just sell those stocks and then transfer the money for whatever they're worth right back to your bank account. So diving right into the main content of today's video, starting out, we're going to be talking about something that unfortunately has just become normalized over the past couple of years, and that is paying for higher prices whenever at the pump. So, whenever this first happened, whenever we first had this spike in gas prices, obviously we saw it all over the news. This was mainstream stuff, like everyone really freaking out, and rightfully so. Prices soaring all the way up to $4 and even higher, over $5 in California. Probably was pushing $6 or $7 at one point. Quite frankly, I can't even remember. But once again, we are seeing the price of gas, which unfortunately was already high going into this year, wasn't continuing to soar. It was coming down a little bit, but was still way too high when compared to 2019 and 2020. Well, once again, it is once again on the rise, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have probably noticed that. It's getting close to $4 where I live, and hopefully it slows down, but it's hard to see it going back to where it was back in 2019, 2020. So according to AAA, increases at the pump slow and more relief could be on the way. So the national average for a gallon of gas has continued its summer U-turn, but price increases have slowed and more relief could be on the way. The national average increased by 11 cents since last week to $3.82. Pump prices have primarily risen due to the price of oil, which was near $80 per barrel last week, but has since softened recently. According to new data from the Energy Information Administration, gas demand decreased slightly from 894 to 884 million last week. Meanwhile, total domestic gasoline stock increased by 1.5 million to 219.1 million. Lower gas demand amid increasing supply will likely help to slow price increases in the days ahead. Today's national average of 382 is 29 cents more than a month ago and 34 cents less than 1 year ago. Now, we can look at this chart up on the screen here, and this is especially telling. So once again, the red is this year in 2023. Then we have the blue marking there, which is 2022. And even though 2022 was higher at this point in time, it did go down to below $3.50 at one point in time. And it's terrible whenever the price of gas being slightly below $3.50 would be considered a good thing, because once again, we could look at the numbers back in 2019, 2020. The black line, of course, is 2019. Then the yellow-orangish line is 2020. And we can see those prices are both below $2.50. So we've had a lot change since 2019, 2020. And really, someone like President Trump, or former President Donald Trump, whenever he's on the campaign trail, right now he is leading the Republican Party, if he wants to make his best case on why he should be the next president of the United States instead of Joe Biden, all he should really be doing right now, instead of talking about like a witch hunt or whatever's going on with all his cases, he should show all the Americans this chart and the price of goods and services that have gone up significantly since he left office. If he wants his best chance at winning, show this price of gas. Show how much it's gone up. That's really his best case of winning right now, at least in my opinion. But we can definitely see here the states that have gone up the least and the most. So the largest increases in averages have included Nebraska by 25 cents, Iowa by 23 cents, then we have Minnesota, Florida, Missouri, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Dakota, New Mexico, and Alabama. And the top 10 least expensive markets include Mississippi at $3.32, Louisiana at $3.43. Then we have Alabama, Kentucky, Ohio, Tennessee, Texas, Arkansas, South Carolina, and Oklahoma to wrap up that list. But let me know what your thoughts in comments are below. Is your state, are you noticing in your state that the prices are going up still? Are they starting to come down? Again, it's pretty ridiculous that this is becoming normalized, that $3.50 gas is considered like cheap now, when, you know, once again, back in 2019, 2020, we were having gas prices at $2 and even below that amount. So definitely need to get that under control. Hopefully it is something that becomes more of a priority in years moving forward, because paying for this expensive gas is just another one of the unaffordable things when it comes to our current lifestyle. Now, in some other news, of course, in just a few days, coming up this week, we have a huge date coming up. And on this day, we're going to have an even better idea of how much of an increase that all Social Security beneficiaries will be receiving, whether you're receiving retirement, SSI, SSDI, or veterans benefits. So on August 10th coming up, we're going to get some very important data. And this data is going to be very telling of how much of an increase we can expect to receive next year in 2024. So coming up on August 10th, we're going to be getting the CPI-W data, all inflation data for the month of July. So what we're going to be looking at in the months ahead, we have data coming out on August 10th, later on this week. Then we have data coming out next month on September 13th. And then the following month after that on October 12th. So we're going to be comparing this data that's going to be coming out on those 3 days to the 3 days of last year. So we're going to be looking at the July, August, and September data for the CPI-W, the inflation data of this year, and we're going to be comparing that to that same data of last year. And however much that's gone up by, well, that's how much the increase is going to be. So right now we have a lot of different projections coming out from different sources, but primarily we've been looking at the Senior Citizens League, since they're sort of like our primary source and a very good source of information. They are nonpartisan. They're not siding with Democrats. They're not siding with Republicans or anything like that. So according to them, there is going to be a 3% increase next year. That is just their estimate. Of course, it could always be lower. It's also possible that it could be higher. So let's say, just, you know, theoretically speaking, the COLA does come out at 3%. Well, what does that mean for you? So I've actually designed this little spreadsheet here, and it pretty much will break down of how much you can expect to receive depending what type of beneficiary you are and what your current benefits are. So right now in 2023, the average benefit for retirees is $1,827. If we have a COLA of 3%, the new benefit in 2024 will be $1,882, which is a $55 monthly increase, or an annual increase of $657.72. Then, of course, for SSDI beneficiaries, their 2023 COLA this year on average is right around $1,483 with a COLA of 3%. That would boost the benefit up to $1,527 in 2024, which would be a monthly increase of $44, or an annual increase of $533.88. And then finally, we have SSI beneficiaries for individuals. The maximum benefit this year is $914. Once again, if we do have the COLA come in at 3%, that would mean the new benefit, the new maximum benefit in 2024 would be $941, which would be a monthly increase of $27, or an annual increase of $329. So those are the numbers right there. But of course, as we all know, there's also another factor that we have to keep in mind, and that is the Medicare Part B premiums. Now, this year, the Medicare Part B premiums for the first time in a long time actually went down, but they are expected to actually increase next year. In the first projection that came out by the Medicare Trustees report, they were expecting a $10 increase. However, they have fully developed and funded a new drug for Alzheimer's, and that's expected to cost another $5. So that is expected to go up by around $14.90 in total for next year. That is not an official number. It could either be a little bit lower, maybe a little bit higher, but probably right around $14.90 for the increase. So that $14.90 will be deducted from whatever type of increase that you receive. But the increase will be higher than the Medicare Part B premiums, but for a lot of people, that's going to be cutting down their increase quite substantially. But again, coming up later this week, August 10th, we're going to have an even better idea of how much of an increase we can expect to receive, which of course I will keep all of you guys updated on. But that's all the news that we have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.